So late last year, I did a training with my mentees in my program. And we went away to Brisbane for 3 days and we were focused on life and vitality. Okay. And we're talking about a whole range of things like mindset, resilience, gratitude, leadership, setting goals, a whole range of stuff, like awesome training. It's actually one of my favorite trainings that I do. And the funny thing is I came to a realization halfway through the training. And I'm like, guys, I'm sitting up here and I get it. It seems like I'm a motivational speaker and, I'm really inspiring you to create the change in your life and all this sort of stuff. And like, wow, how does George know all these things? And he's such a great, amazing person. And it came to the realization that a lot of what I'm teaching came from my own shortcomings and challenges and self-talk. So self-talk to myself. It's like when I'm teaching you about resilience, I'm not talking to you to teach you about resilience. I'm talking to me. It's like, no, George, you need to go through these difficult things in your life because it's going to build the character that you need in your life to have those things that you want. I've openly said here, like, I want to have a garage full of supercars. Okay, but how do you think you're going to get that? Do you think it just like, bang, there's the supercars? No, you're probably going to have to work really, really hard and have some really, really big problems and difficulties and challenges to be able to experience having a garage full of supercars. You want the best relationship with your partner, with your kids. Well, maybe you're going to have to experience some really difficult relationship challenges with your partner, with your kids, with your family, in order for you to have the absolute best relationship with them. Maybe it means you go through a scare with one of them. They're in a bad car accident, nearly die. They're diagnosed with a sickness. You're diagnosed with a sickness. But because of that, it forces you to have that change in your life, like that perturbation. It's an external irritation that irritates you so much that it forces you to grow and change.
Dude, do you know how many people I've heard say they got sick, like they got cancer or something, mm-hmm. They got better, and then they label that as it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I woke up, because I realized what mattered.
Yes.
It's a poorly wrapped gift or whatever.
It is, yeah. Without a doubt. And it's a shame some people have to wait for that moment to happen.
Hey, you know what's more of a shame? The people who don't get that moment.
Yeah, exactly. They go through that whole life.
Some people don't get the wake-up call. Some people don't get the, hey, we're here. You know what I mean? Wake the fuck up. Some people just, boom, done. It's one and done.
That's it, one and done.
And that's the shame.
Yeah. Andrew Tate said it a little while ago. It's like, if you because he'll sit there and openly say there's no such thing as depression and all this sort of shit. He goes, if you're fucking depressed, go to a cancer ward, speak to someone terminally ill. If they feel sorry for you and your problems, then you have the right.
If you can convince them,
if you can convince that person of your problems and that they're difficult and they're hard and your life is fucked, then you have the right to be fucking.
I truly, I believe that to some degree because I think it's a boredom thing. Not in the sense of I'm bored, I'm going to pretend. Like it's more so like your mind doesn't know what to do when everything's okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of...
Is it also a purpose-driven thing too?
Like you have no direction?
Yeah.
Yes, for some people, I believe so.
I think it would be... You need to be... It would definitely be contributing.
You need to be working towards something, I believe. Like that's how I've... reflection's the greatest thing in the world. Because when you want to look back, you learn from your less... Like you learn when you look back, right? So if you look back at what you've done in the past, you'll learn from that. And when I look back at, when I've been the happiest or the most driven, I generally had something I was working towards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I believe that's not everyone, but probably most people need some, hey, this is why. Because what the fuck are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here really? No one knows.
There's a whole bunch of nothing. There's a little bit of your life, and there's a whole bunch of nothing after.
Did you share? Did you watch that podcast I shared with you, the Diary of a CEO one, where they talk about what are we doing here? Like the aliens. What's the thing? They look back at the universe and they can see.
Sending it to me. I'll check it out.
I was talking to you about it when you were going to. It was a few weeks back.
Okay.
Anyway, like what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And I think you just need it's almost like a distraction from that. You know what I mean? Which is what purpose is, or beliefs, or religion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, this is religion's purpose, dude. This is why you're here.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. I think it's definitely important to have that, without a doubt. I mean, it is for me anyway. And you're right. The biggest change for me came, and I always say it at events, at people, when I'm coaching, mentoring, I always say it's like the biggest change for me when I got punched in the face was during those 3-4 years of COVID. It was a wake up call.
3-4 years.
Well, it wasn't just the time of COVID. It was the aftermath for me as well. Like I needed to recover post that, because we went from having plenty of money to having hardly any money in the business, and then having to rebuild that whole wealth stream and success and everything that followed, and having the resilience to go through that personally, professionally, all those elements. And I needed that. Like I genuinely feel that was the knock I needed on the door to appreciate the things I have in my life, to appreciate the challenges, to know that going through something like that, coming out the other end and still being strong, resilient, and all the best. Like that was a great lesson for me to know that, you can handle a lot of shit. People might look at, you might look at other entrepreneurs or people that are really wealthy or think they've got their lives together. Like Elon Musk says it, like not many of you could do what I do. I could give you my...
He says, you don't want to be me.
Yeah, you don't want to. Like you don't know the battles.
You might think you want to. He's like, but you don't.
Yeah, and I feel that way about my life. Some people might look at it and go, oh, wow, you're so... Like I get people to say that all the time. It's like, oh man, you're so lucky. Like you've done so well. I could only hope to be like you. I want to do the things that you're doing. So you don't know it. You don't know what it takes to be here. Not everyone can do it. I'm sure a lot of people could. I'm sure a lot of people could even go further, but not everyone can do it.
Do you ever look at anyone? Did you ever look at people and think like, oh yeah, they've made it, and now you don't look at them like that anymore? Like in the sense of maybe you've passed them. Like I can,
back in the day,
I can think of people when I look at them, I think, oh man, like that's the like one that springs to mind was when I was a first year apprentice, and I remember the service manager saying these specific words. I didn't sleep last night. I was up all night trying to work out how we're going to fix so-and-so problem, blah, blah, blah. And I remember thinking, man, this guy's the service manager of Mercedes-Benz. Like, wow, this guy's made it. He's made it. Do you know what I mean? Like, wow.
Now you're dropping off your Merc for him to service.
Yeah. Dude, and it's like, I don't look at that. I used to think if I ever got to that position, I'd made it. And I don't look at that. It's like the bar moves.
Yeah, it does. It does, without a doubt.
Do you know what I mean? The bar moves. Like there's people I used to... Did you just lower your chair? The people I used to look at that were like, oh, wow. And then it's like, oh, like, no, not so much anymore. It's like, we're probably past you.
Yeah. I can't think specifically of anyone like that. I'm sure there's been moments in my life where it's happened. And, my next hurdle is like, I look at, say, people that are worth... I had an ex-business partner and one of my dad's friends. They're still friends today. But the guy was worth $500 million.
Yep.
Sometimes it's really hard to conceive that like, well, $500 million, like 500 million. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you
Having
still
that
can't
sort of coin.
fathom how much money that is.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And it's like, well, what does it like? I could build for the next 5 years and probably not hit that target of 500 mil. So what's it take to get to that level of success?
What did he do?
What did he do? I mean, he was I won't say actually, he was in business, definitely for himself, and he made some strategic moves that helped him significantly. And funny enough, he did it during the 2008 GFC. He made strategic moves, he had the resources behind him, and that's what made him a multi-millionaire during that time. And then from there, his company grew, listed on the stock exchange, and just went from strength to strength. Yeah. And then just, once he had the money and the opportunities, he just kept making more money. But I do not wish for his life. I need to make that really clear. I'm not going to give too much away, but he had something happen to him that I would not ever wish upon my worst enemy. Do you know what I mean? And I don't wish for that life. But I look at, from that level of business success, I'm like, what's it take to get there? Is it there? Is it a possibility? Is it in the realm of existence for us? I think about that a lot. I still feel that we're in one of the years. Like I'm in one of the years getting to that level. But when does it happen?
Yeah, I also think we grossly underestimate how much it takes to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. I concur.
You know what I mean? We think like, oh yeah, nah, just gotta, and it's like, nah, it's way more. But also, I think the naivety is a good thing because it allows you to take that next step. Because if you knew it was 1,000 steps, you wouldn't take the first one. But when you think it's 30 and then you're 107 steps in, you're like, I'm almost there.
Yeah.
And you're like 10% of the way.
Yeah, well, I heard this also, this saying, it's like you're 30 ways away, you're 30 no's away from $1 million. All right, so you've got to hear no 30 times before you get $1 million. So a lot of people get discouraged when they hear no, or whether they hear stop, or whether they hear you can't do that. They get discouraged and they're like, oh yeah, you're right. You'll never have a top 10 podcast. Oh, okay. All right, but you've got to hear that 30 times. You're 30 no's away. So every no that you get, you're just one step closer to your goal, which I liked. I like that saying.
Fail fast.
Yeah, that's right. Like, go out there, get shit happening. You're going to make a move. It might work out. It might not. Gets on to the next no, you know?
Make moves.
That's it.
Making moves.
Making moves. Making moves. So, yeah, start consuming some good content. Start thinking positive things. Start practicing gratitude. Surrounding yourself with the right people is important as well.
Massive.
But we're talking about content, but you'll start to hang out in different circles because...
Dude, content... We talk about content because it's consumption.
Yeah.
You consume the thoughts, words, energy, beliefs of the people all around you.
Yeah, that's right. So then look at how your circle's going to change after that, because mine definitely did.
Yeah.
Mine definitely did and has over the years. Like I don't hang out with a lot of people. It's funny, like I was always a very social person growing up. In my early 20s, I couldn't tell you how many friends I had. I thought I had hundreds, being serious. Like I would have had like 50 friends. I'd be like, yeah, there's all my close friends. We're all close. We're all mates, And it's funny. It's like you'll get married, your priorities change. You see what else becomes important. That halves. And then you go again. And you're like, okay, what are these? They're still going out. You're 30 years old. You're still clubbing hard and drugs and drinking. And you're still 40. You still can't wait. You can't wait to get away from your kids so you can go out and get smashed and hang out with the boys or girls or whatever you want to do, really. So then you just grow apart from those people. You stop hanging out, you stop associating, and then you drift apart. But then I find that the quality of people that are around and left in your life still is a powerful thing.
I think that mindset, like that YOLO, you know how people say,
Yeah.
oh man, like, you got to do it now. Like, what if you die tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. All that, get the car now, all that shit. Go on the holiday, blah blah. That can keep you broke too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're not willing to sacrifice that 2 years, that 3 years, that take a step back. Living below your means.
Yep.
That can massively impact,
Without a doubt,
your trajectory and stop you from getting to $500 million. It's billion with a B.
The B. Yeah, so I found I think I was very extroverted when I was younger, and now I'm actually more introverted. Like I don't want to use my energy on people that I don't feel are going to fill my cup. And I feel that it's a little bit harder for me to connect with people these days, and my wife was telling me off about it. She's like, oh, you used to it'd be so fun and everyone would come, you'd be the life of the party and all that sort of stuff. I said, yeah, but now I don't feel the need to waste my energy on people that are just either there to use me or, like what for? I just want to focus on the people that I think will bring value to me in my life.
So there's
everyone else around me.
So there's a new term called ambivert.
Ambivert.
It's most people. So what it says, a person who has a balance of extrovert and introvert features in their personality.
Yeah, I think I'm like that.
So what it means is that if you meet somebody that you do not like, and then you will exhaust your social energy.
Yeah.
But if there's somebody who you actually connect with, you get more social energy. Like if you meet Robbie, you'll have more energy. But if you meet somebody who's like shit,
you get less energy. Yeah, and I think that's where I'm at now as well. Because it's like, I don't know, I'll meet a mum and a dad from the school, and it's like, sometimes I feel the connections aren't there, and it's like I'm just there making small talk, not having
fucking
genuine.
hate
I know,
small talk,
me
dude,
too.
so
And it's
much.
Like, oh, what do you do with? He's like, I'm an entrepreneur.
Is that what you tell them?
No, I'm a firefighter. Just put out spot fires all day.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying to Iggy the other day. He's like, I'm not firefighting.
Firefighting.
He's like,
He's from Mongolia. He's quite literal.
They don't have
You would have
firefighters.
thought they don't have fires there.
minus 40 degrees. If you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. And if you want to watch the full episode, click just over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.